Hello everybody. In this video, we will try to understand what happens when Aries Ascendant Lord, that is Mars, in the third house, that is in the sign of Gemini. So basically, Mars in the sign of Gemini, that is in the third house for Aries Ascendant. That's what we're going to discuss in this video. And for Aries Ascendant, Gemini is the third house. So now what happens? What this placement really means? See, Mars is the ruler of the first house here, and also Mars is the ruler of the 8th house, Scorpio here, right? For Aries Ascendant. And what third house talks about? Third house always talks about your courage, your effort, that is your self-effort, and then your hands and the skills that you exhibit in your life. And what is the sign of Gemini? Gemini is the world of thinking. It's the world of logic, world of words and learning. So Gemini is basically ruled by Mercury. It is a mercurial energy house. So the self, that is the first lord, the self-lord, Mars, and also the lord of deep and hidden energy, because it is also the 8th house lord for Aries Ascendant, it is going into the house of communication, the house of thinking, and the house of skills, we can say. So what happens with this Mars-Mercury relationship here? Mars and Mercury are planetary enemies to some extent, you can say, because Mercury wants to think. Mercury likes to talk. It likes to analyze. It's like a business person. Whereas Mars, it wants to act. It wants to fight. It wants to decide fast, not with some analysis and all. So Mars is something like act first. Why are you analyzing so much? This is the behavior of Mars. So then when Mars is sitting in the house of Mercury, it creates some kind of mental tension. So the result of this one is a kind of angry thoughts, fast replies, fast communication, kind of hard, a kind of harsh communication when it is stressed. So this confirms why anger comes through communication for these guys. Arguments happen very easily with these guys, and words, the kind of communication that these natives exhibit, can hurt deeply. And here Mars is also ruling the 8th house. This is very important because Mars rules the 8th house, and because of this, the communication can be very deep. It can be kind of very penetrating. It can be kind of investigative sometimes, and also secret revealing. So this person, generally, if you observe, this person may ask some uncomfortable questions. The person may expose lies and can reveal secrets, can shock others with communication. So their communication is not just fast, it cuts deeper. So that is the whole energy. And now, if you observe the aspect, we say in Sanskrit, drishti, the aspect of Mars from third house. So here, Mars from the third house it's in the third house. So obviously the 4, 7, 8 aspects of this one, if you observe, this particular Mars aspects 6th house because From third house, if you observe, third is the first house, fourth is the second house, fifth is the third house, and sixth is the fourth house, right? From the third. So basically, sixth house is nothing but when Mars is sitting in the third house, Mars is going to watch sixth house with its fourth aspect. And when something is in the third house, the seventh aspect of that particular planet directly goes to the ninth house. And then the eighth aspect of Mars sitting in the third house is 10th house. It also aspects the 10th house. So Mars basically aspects 6th house, 9th house, and 10th house when it is sitting in the sign of Gemini for Aries ascendant people. So the 9th house is generally, it means the mutual relationship with father and the mutual relationship with teachers or gurus or any kind of religion and belief system. So basically this energy can lead to arguments with teachers because Mars is a harsh planet. And this particular Mars sitting in the third house for Aries ascendant can question religion, challenges tradition, its strong personal belief system it can make up for that person. And also the logical mind against blind faith. Right? So this is the fundamental thing here. This combination, this Mars sitting in the sign of Gemini, that is in the third house for Aries ascendant, is creating a logical mind against blind faith. So the person always says, I want proof, not tradition. Now, this person is a kind of brave communicator, as mentally very aggressive, that is for sure. And he is a kind of logical warrior. That is for sure. And another important thing I want to tell you, he is a fearless debater and he is a fast learner. He is very much skilled with his hands, and also the negative qualities it is giving here for the person is argumentative. The person is impatient in communication. The person easily irritated mentally and even can fight with siblings because third house is also the house of siblings and can offend elders unintentionally. And one important thing I want to say here is this particular person fights with logic, not just with fists, right? So the person fights with logic. The person is in the battlefield of words. That's what I can see here. And then just imagine there was a person, and that person he always questions teachers. He always questions his own boss. He always questions his religious ideas. So generally people feared debates with him. Not because he is shouting, but because he is exposing the truth very, very harshly. Right? So at any point of time you can tell him, hey man, your words are weapons, use them to protect, not to attack others. So the person has to learn right before speaking, right before communication. The person has to pause before replying because his communication can be very harsh. And the person has to use the truth very gently, not harshly. The person has to learn these things. Then only the people living with him can feel comfortable. And of course, once he learns all this, he can become a powerful writer. He can become a very good strategist. He can become a teacher. a very good teacher that people can respect, because he is a kind of, the kind of truth that he wants is in the next level. Now, what kind of remedies that this particular person can follow? A person should practice a kind of slow communication every day, pausing before replying, and the person has to understand silence is the real strength, not just communicating very harshly or communicating very bluntly. This is not the strength. Silence is the strength, right? And let us say the person has some kind of anger related ideas, anger and ideas. So better he writes them so that anger related thoughts will vanish. This can remove the pressure from the mind. It can prevent some harsh communication. And better he recites Mars mantra every Tuesday, and better he is doing some kind of physical movement every day, like walking, yoga, and small exercise is also good enough to release this Martian energy. And donation on Tuesday is also recommended, like red lentils, or can offer some kind of red clothes to the poor, or can help siblings with some patience. That can also teach him a lot of the things. So basically, he also has to find some kind of balance between Mars and Mercury. When he teaches and when he writes, the whole Mars and Mercurial energy can get some kind of balance. So it's a kind of a very good placement. At the same time, it is giving some kind of harsh communication. The person has to understand speaking truth is of course important, but how he is communicating it, that he has to learn. Thanks for watching this video.